Alright, so we'll do a quick circuit before we take on the next story mission, then we'll check our time after that.
Yeah, we're looking at about 11:40 now.
It took a little bit longer than I expected in that mission because I was looking for items more than I was looking for the objective. Alright, so this one is defensive type. So we use taunt. Increases defense and attracts Oni attention. Nullifies all attacks for limited time. Increases max level defense. So it's pretty good. We can still get levels on Yorimitsu, so I'll keep him equipped because attack is more useful to me right now. Got some soil. And now the tree wants 100 Haku instead of 60. So we broke a tier already. Still can't use the bath yet.
Because the tree's an asshole.
No
It's a
mail.
bitch.
Heavy club got basically no familiarity. Just fine, because I've hardly used it. Weapons that hit more often level up quicker. We can take the blacksmith. 450 Haku. Sisterly duties. One neighborhood kid scraped her knee, but we don't have enough medicine. We help me find ingredients. I have exactly enough giant lotus leaves. Let's complete that right away. 425 Haku. Nothing new opened up. Alright, purple invaders. Secure 2 red zones. Can only be done with Hatsuho. Do your best. Fine, jeez. Ah, we get to explore the other side of the map for the first time.
Oh, shush, Hato.
That's Spider City. There's a good reason why it's spiders. And yeah, there's the toxic fangs. And there's the copper ore. The club ruins spiders. I'm pretty sure they're weak to... I think clubs do blunt, even if they have spikes on them.
Just
There are...
a fat blunt.
Yeah, there are different damage types in the game. Slash piercing blunt.
What is this, Warframe?
That's pretty generic, really. And we got enough toxic fangs to finish the quest. Let's do a quick item lookout. Don't see any more. So now we get to go to Zone 2, which I don't know if the boss stage is this one or the next one.
What's your special with the club?
If this ends up being the boss stage, we'll find out.
What I'm talking about is instead of the charging sword, what do you get?
Okay, so you charge it up, and then when you release, you unleash a flurry of heavy blows with an attack bonus.
Okay.
They also have a little bit of a linear AoE. But you'll never hit spiders with it. Like, if I just tap it, it does that, which is more plausible. But you'll never get a full charge on a spider. You don't even have much walking speed with a club. It does finish spiders off in one combo, though, and it's the lowest level club. I actually killed 2 spiders with that combo. Violet Needle. I believe that's quite a rare drop. And before she goes crazy, I'm going to pick up this item. You can also charge your triangle attack, and it's basically just the final blow of your ultimate attack. Can't charge your attack 1, though.
The next mission then for you guys.
Yeah, so it looked like they were setting up for a trick ending. But no, it's fine. Lots of toxic fangs. You have to name them Fang Chum.
You seem to be desperate for a lot of things, my friend.
Alright.
Younger brother or sister.
But no rest for the wicked.
She looks like she's what? 14?
I like how he turns a blind eye to her pleas.
Right.
He's just like, death stare. Fine, jeez.
Fine, jeez. What?
Just cuck the shit out of Ibuki. Also, doesn't this shrine look so much nicer?
Does look a bit nicer.
So now we have access to quirky prayers as well. I
Quirky
like
prayers.
I like quirky ones. And I got one of my favorite bonuses, stealth. So what stealth does is basically make all the enemies prioritize my party members over me. Which means I can get right up in that ass, even with a slow weapon
Look at
like
that.
this.
Look at that asshole.
And if I start using ranged weapons, I'm definitely going to want stealth all day long, because it takes so long to line up a shot.
What's your club at? Maybe you can use ranged weapons.
It probably got a good chunk from that last one. I'll check it on the way by.
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, it's the drop from the Dribbles.
You have mail.
Yeah, when you complete quests for NPCs, sometimes they'll send you a letter. The club is maxed out, but the club is also really good against this boss.
Should totally use something other than the club, though.
Like, for a variety I should, but for practicality I really shouldn't.
Fine, jeez.
Oh, the new A is a blitzer. Okay, so I don't get the benefit of the bestiary for my other file, so I can't double check what this boss does. Villager's Plea is done.
I mean, I could look it up for you, but I'm not going to.
It doesn't matter. I'm either wearing armor that's really good against it, or armor that's still better than my starting gear against it.
Fair enough.
My sister's heard about an item that can be found in the other world that's really funny shape. She wants to start talking about it. Do you think you can find one and bring it to me? Done. Okay, so this type of quest, you actually do have to pick up to get progress on. Slay 50 imps. The helmet crest I don't necessarily need to pick up, so I'll leave it unpicked up. I guess I should also take a quest, though. Slay the Manhunter. So the Manhunter Spider is our first big Oni. And we might
Okay.
go a little bit over fighting it, depending on how it goes, because we're down a party member. But basically for boss stages, the boss will either be in a designated area, especially the first time you encounter that species. Subsequently, it'll be roaming, and it'll actually change areas. For a first boss, it looks pretty sweet, though.
Creepy ass thing.
That's Asumi's favorite. It does move around a lot, but in the early battle, I can probably get these big hits on it.
She will murder you.
It has incredible range of motion, though. And all these white parts are parts that we can damage and break off and purify. And we actually don't get drops for the fight per se, unless we break them off ourselves. So it's important that we break every body part if we want full drops. The horns are going to be the hardest with this type of weapon, because he is, being a spider, highly mobile. but the club has a very wide swath. And when we deplete their purple meter, they get knocked down, and we get some free hits on them. I'm going to use a recovery here. But yeah, this guy's pretty nimble. Probably the best weapon to use against him would be the Kusurigama or the Twin Daggers, just for hitting the hitboxes, but the club is definitely the best damage type against it. And you see how long it takes to purify his body parts. They actually have their own separate life
Yeah,
bar.
it takes a minute.
I want to pick up this item though. It's a broken broadsword.
Broken. Oh.
Also, every time I break a body part off, he gets a bit of stagger. And if we break off certain body parts, it actually takes away some of his moves temporarily. They will gain their body part back, so you see that he has a phantom limb now. The phantom limb will actually replace the lost limb, although it's not physically there, because the Oni are beings of spirit.
Okay.
So their physical body doesn't mean very much to them. And they can also regrow the physical part of their body occasionally. I don't think the first boss can, though. But we definitely want to, if we don't purify the body part, it'll reabsorb it back onto its body. So if we want to take away its body parts, we have to deal with them as they happen. The other thing is, those nodes on its back are actually little spiders, and every few phases it'll respawn. Okay, that's all the parts. This big water attack is a magic attack that we'll actually have access to once we get a magic Mitama. So we have one sickle left, 2 horns, and a claw to break off. I'm just going to slam in with some heavy attacks, overhead swings. I almost have my weapon gauge filled up. Now to be very careful with how I position myself when I use it, because I want to hit all the body parts that still need to be broken without doing too much health damage. And it's just going to keep doing this annoying spinning attack over and over again, which sometimes bosses will do that. They'll to use their most retarded attack constantly. It doesn't deal a whole hell of a lot of damage, and it's pretty easy to dodge, like he telegraphs it way ahead of time. But when I'm using a weapon this slow, I don't always have a choice. And it's only bad because it knocks you back. Okay, so let's line it up. That was. So you see it consumed the gauge, broke everything it hit instantly, and knocked it down a peg.
Was that the last one right there? Or nearly?
So all its limbs are broken, we just need to purify them now. And it's down to about a third of its HP. So we got a Voice of Anguish. which is a boss-only drop, and it just drops randomly from purifying a body part. I will also shortly get to show off the team attack.
Hopefully.
It'll either die just before it happens, or it'll pretty much die as a result of using it. So when the bar is charged, you see how I have lightning connecting me to my party members?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get them close to me. So I give them a follow command, and they'll stick right by me. Then when this guy stops being a spinning top, we can actually hit him. And he'll just do that constantly for his entire life, if he feels like it. Okay, so we group up and deliver a punishing attack using the power of all three of us. And now I'll just put them on attack. The spinning top attack's pretty
Nice.
stupid too. Because if it gets you in a corner, it'll just sit on top of you and beat the shit out of you.
Really?
Yeah. Now, if you get knocked down, you actually don't lose. You have a gauge that gets filled up by them purifying on you. You can also revive it in the same way. So if anyone gets knocked down, they can be revived by purifying on them. But every time they get knocked down, the gauge is more and more empty until they actually just die, which will end the mission,
You have to purify all over them?
basically. We also get to purify the carcass. Abe no Seimei is a very powerful Onmyo. It's actually the figure that the Seimei amulets in Neo are named after.
Okay.
And he will be our magic attacks in the early game.
Awesome. And you finished literally right on time.
Yeah, there's going to be some expository banter, and I'll probably run around and pop the shrines so that I don't forget to do before next time we head out. But yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm
basically.
just saying you got done right on time.
So we got, if you break all the parts in the boss and purify them, you get an all parts bonus at the end of the mission.
Oh, I have truth mode.
So the boss missions pay out well. Also, since we got some monster parts from it, it should also unlock the blueprints for some new weapons and armor, which I believe are all water elemented. And we'll need them. Like the Yamato armor, even though it's pretty good, isn't specialized enough to do well against certain bosses.
Ah,
So the game sets you up fairly well, with the next boss being weak to the previous boss's gear set, which encourages you to farm that boss a lot.
yeah.
Hatsuho the Savage.
Right. Huh. I still like Oka's sword a lot.
Yeah, and we can get that. It's quite expensive, but it is obtainable.
I'm sensing some sexual tension between characters. I'm just saying.
Abe no Seimei also has to, like, converse this at length. He's, like, pretty okay with being eaten by an Oni, though. He's just like, yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate I got eaten by an Oni. I didn't get to see my opponent's face as I finished him. Yeah, quite the bit of expository banter here. Alright, more mail from you. The captain refuses to eat his carrots. I love Yu's face on this letter.
Huh.
Yamato, will you please eat your goddamn carrots? Put the Naginata on. We've almost fully bonded with Yamato's outfit.
So what's the point of fully bonding with things other than that little achievement you mentioned?
To upgrade some things, you need to be fully bonded to choose a different path.
Oh, okay. I like a fox. Aw.
They also make the best noise ever. Okay, so the Tenko is another resource gathering NPC. Okay, so we've maxed him out. Look at how much more expensive Abe no Seimei is to buy a level than the other guys. It only took 200 to get a level on these guys. He needs 2,200. I'm going to equip him since we've maxed out our current one, and the defensive one is just kind of boring to me. They're all important, though. Gotta deform bone, feed the shrine again. The blacksmith has a bunch of new stuff. We have unnamed swords, shinobi knives, stuff like that. They're basically just strictly better than the starting gear that we've been playing with. We also have access to the blaze gear, which
What's the
is,
blaze gear does fire damage?
yeah, and it's even better than this stuff. And then from fighting that boss, we got the Stygian gear, which is water elemented.
Okay.
And if you look, things are basically sorted by strength. So the blaze gear does fire damage, but it's like a tier lower in base damage than the Stygian gear. And we need a little bit more spider parts to make Stygian stuff. But if I was fighting an enemy that was weak to fire, the blaze sword actually do more damage than the Stygian sword. We also
Yeah, that
have
makes sense.
Stygian armor added, which is the only armor added. There was no fire armor added yet.
What's the robe look like?
That's the chest piece. Here's the arms. It's very Onmyo inspired,
Ah,
except for the headpiece. Even though it kind of looks like an eboshi, the helmets in this game are out of control. There's a Stygian helmet. Here's the
oh my
veteran's
god.
helmet. It's actually so tall, it doesn't fit on the screen. The guard helm is relatively tame in comparison. And then our starting Slayer's helm. I'm actually going to walk around this way, because we want to finish in the house on this pass. I'm not going to talk to Yamato right now. It's kind of
Why is
long-winded.
that? Oh. Tell him to use
Got,
carrots.
got our quirk. So now Oni will focus on me more, which is fine with this weapon. A mission has been issued from the Age of Honor. So we unlocked a new zone. I skipped through a little bit, but you can pause it and read it. All I want to do is check the quests. Those are pickup items, so we don't need to have them on us. So these missions are all done. But I think starting in Chapter 2, after we beat the chapter, there'll be extra missions after that. Actually, I forgot to do something before going to the house. That'll just be another minute or two. Because I'm going to use our Tenko, but to do that, I need to get some fox rice.
Somewhat.
So you have to feed your Tenko lunch so that they can do missions. If you give them candy, it'll change their voice. And if you give them dumplings, it'll change their color.
What's the elegant one?
Um, it'll become pure noble color.
Okay. Should give him one.
Okay. Okay. Well, first I need to buy some rice. I'm gonna actually spend on a gorgeous lunch because it fills so much more. And you want an elegant dumpling and just sell some ancient
What's the viscous
coins,
mud?
crafting material.
Oh.
Do you want to change his voice?
Um. Eh. Although I can't even hear it. Maybe the tenderness candy could be cool.
in a soft, gentle voice.
Yeah.
There we go. The chat-sourced Tenko. I always check to see if the bath is open. Okay, so you see its mood is 1. If I give it a snack, it's amazing. A better mood. Since its mood is full, I can't feed it anything else. So I have to send it on a mission to give it the other snacks. But I can send it to the Age of Grace. You can only send it to ages that you've been to. Also, I don't have my other outfit, but you can get Tenko costumes. I got one for the demo, but I guess I only received it. Unless it's over here right now. I only received it in my other file, but it was an angel suit for your Tenko.
That's pretty cool.
So that's going to go. And if I do a mission in the Age of Grace while my Tenko is there, there's a chance that the Tenko will encounter me and join my party.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to put Abe no Seimei on. He's got Pursuit, Fountain, Eruption, Recovery. So Pursuit is a projectile attack. Eruption is an explosive attack. And Fountain is that big water attack that we saw in the battle against the spider happening all the time.
Okay.
And of course, Recovery. Almost all of them have Recovery. Now we'll drop a save. So, thanks for watching. If you're watching this on Twitch, consider following me, it helps out a lot. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, it helps a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we will catch you next time. Bye now.